Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our lecture about the outcomes-based education. In this subject, which is the Assessment of Learning 1, we're going to discuss the first chapter of the book, which is flashed in the screen. No? So the first chapter involves the discussion of the outcomes-based education. Okay, so in this kind of education, which is the OBE or outcomes based education, um, nagkaroon nito, it's because there's a need, no, to shift the educational focus of the learners from the content to learning outcomes. As we noticed before, we have been practicing the traditional way of teaching, which is based on traditional education. And now it's because of the advent of technology caused by, because of the advent of technology, it caused, no, a change of perspective in education, not just locally but nationally and internationally. So we need to fit in to what's the trend now. So the teacher, no, ceased to be the sole source of knowledge before. The teacher is the sole source of knowledge, but today the teacher now is the facilitator. With the knowledge explosion, students are surrounded with various sources of facts and information, no, accessible through user-friendly technology. That is why hindi may pagkakaila na maraming students na mas matalino kaysa sa teacher, but in some aspects. No? For instance, in technology, some teachers may not know all of the technology, but yung mga students alam na alam nila. No? And that is because of the advent of technology. Okay, so again, in the outcomes-based education, yung kind of the education na meron tayo ngayon, ang teacher dapat ay magiging facilitator na lamang. Kumbaga, they are facilitators of knowledge who assist, no, in the organization, interpretation, and validation of acquired facts and information. No? So that's the sense of outcomes-based education. But let's dig deeper on that. Let's know more about this by knowing the characteristics. Accordingly, there are three characteristics of OBE. No? Okay. There are three characteristics. The first one is it should be student-centered. No? OBE is a student-centered education, student-centered. Kumbaga, it places the students at the center of the learning process by focusing on student learning outcomes. Next one is it is faculty driven. So before we proceed to faculty driven, when we say student centered, it means that ang main concern ng teacher ay ang mga estudyante. During the instruction, hindi lang si teacher yung nagsasalita. During the instruction, hindi lang si teacher yung may alam ng lahat. It should also the student, no? Kasi as I have said kanina, you as a teacher, you are facilitator. So you guide the student. Kung ano yung nalalaman ng bawat isang estudyante, i-unearth mo yon, palabasin mo, pigain mo sila para malaman, para they will be aware of their knowledge and you as a teacher will only be facilitating them. No? And doon mo din malalaman na may mga hindi rin sila alam, and that's the time na dun ka rin papasok para i-supply yung mga knowledge na yon na hindi nila alam. No? The next one is it is faculty driven. That is, it encourages faculty responsibility for teaching. Not just that but also assessing program outcomes and motivating participation from the students. So malaki yung role ni teacher para mas matuto yung bata. No? Pagdating sa faculty-driven, it is up to you now. It is your game kung paano mo gagalawin yung baso para matuto yung bata, no? Okay, the next one is it is meaningful. Kumaga, it provides data to guide the teacher in making valid and continuing improvement, no? Hindi mawawala yung continuing dyan in instruction and assessment activities, no? Kung makita mo na hindi pa natututo yung bata, then it is your responsibility as a teacher to find ways in order for the students to have continuing improvement. Okay. So the next one is I hope you learn, no, what's those characteristics. Okay, so the outcomes-based education has many outcomes, but it comes with two types. No, the first one is the immediate outcomes. When we say immediate outcomes, these are the competencies or skills acquired upon completion of a subject. Pagkatapos niyang matutunan or matapos yung isang subject or a grade level, no? Or a segment of the program or of the program itself. Kumbaga, eto yung mga skills na natutunan nila after nila makagraduate or after nila mag-grade 1 or after nilang matapos yung isang subject. So, it's very crucial kasi at the end of that, kumbaga sa recognition day, tatanungin ano yung natutunan mo sa bata, anong natutunan ng bata, and then yung sasabihin niya na natutunan niya, and then yung mga ginagawa niya na skills or na-acquire niya na skills, yun yung tinatawag natin na immediate outcomes. So, some examples of immediate outcomes are their ability to communicate in writing and speaking. Kung nung grade 1 siya, pumasok siya sa grade 1, hindi pa siya marunong magbasa. But after, no, after the completion of the subjects or after the completion of the grade level, natuto na siyang magbasa at saka magsulat. So, nakita natin na merong immediate outcome. Okay? Same also with, for example, sa social work. After niyang matapos yung program na social work, na-improve ba yung skills niya in terms of socialization? Kasi social workers sila, no? So, before they graduate, they should improve their social skills. So, at the end ba, na-improve ma? If yes, then it means you are successful, no? So, those skills are under immediate outcomes, no? Even actually the passing, no, of any licensure examination, under pa rin yan siya sa immediate outcomes. Yung pag-graduate ng bata, let's say sa grade 6, nakagraduate siya ng grade 6, so yun ay isang example ng immediate outcome. So the next one is the deferred outcomes. Ito naman, it refers to the ability to apply cognitive, ito yung sa brain natin, psychomotor, ito yung ability to do something, and affective skills or competencies, no? In various situations, many years, no, take note of that, many years after the completion of a subject. Meaning to say, after many years of completing the subject or the degree, nandun pa rin yung ability niya, no? Nagamit pa rin niya yung learnings niya from you, and then that means yan yung deferred outcomes, no? So, other examples involve success in professional practice or occupation, na-promote yung bata sa trabaho, yun yung estudyante mo before, that's deferred outcomes. Naging successful siya in career niya, sa health niya, sa wellness niya, it's because of the learnings na natutunan niya sa'yo, then that's deferred outcomes. Nandyan din yung the other example, maybe yung pagiging mabuti no? Because of your o siya, because of your advice na binibigay sa kanya, na naging isang mabuti siyang tao, that's deferred outcomes actually, no? So that's the outcomes of education, no? Okay. So there are different forms of outcomes and they comes with different levels. So meron tayong levels of outcomes in OBE. Number one, yung institutional outcome. Ang institutional outcomes, so those are statements of what the graduates of an educational institution are supposed to be able to do beyond graduation. Yung minimin natin kanina ni deferred outcomes, yun yung institutional outcome. And then we have the program outcomes. These are what graduates of particular educational programs or degrees are able to do, no, at the completion of the degree. And then we have also the course outcomes or the subject outcomes. So it has outcomes here. These are what students should be able to demonstrate, no, at the end of course or subject. Then the last one is the learning or instructional or lesson outcomes. These are what students should be able to do after a lesson or instruction. So these are the levels of outcomes in OBE. Okay. So I think that's the end of our discussion about OBE. So I hope you learned something from this discussion. Okay. Thank you for listening. If you have more questions, just comment down below for me to know, for me to answer, no, your questions. Okay, so thank you.